cherish all the time you spend. You tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend. You tuned in to. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexistence, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexistence, but to know the real.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. I'm your host, K Money, and in the building with me, my co-host Slash, Freddie G, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. You can find us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast, and if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and or subscribe. Today's show was recorded before President Joe Biden dropped out of the 2024 presidential race. What's up, fellas? Welcome to another True Tuesday. Today, man, I thought we'd discuss the vote that was recently made by the Supreme Court earlier this month, pretty much giving the president immunity, or in regards to presidential immunity. And this is pretty much where the president is immune from prosecution when exercising the core powers of the presidency. I don't really think folks understand how important this vote was and how important not allowing Trump to win this presidency is, and how they play hand in hand. You know, because it's pretty much saying the things that Trump is threatening to do, he'll be able to do with no consequences whatsoever. You know, which is pretty much scary in my opinion. You know, he's already speaking of you know, dictatorship type of actions, and basically this gives him the green light to go ahead and proceed. You know, with these type of actions that he's threatening, you know, the country with. I myself, you know, like I said, I can't believe that they would even grant this
type of power.
Yeah, type of power to another person, individual that has, you know, he already has a lot of power as it is.
Right.
But pretty much to give him the green light to do whatever it is and whatever he wants to do. You know, with the wrong person, you know, in this position can totally abuse this, and Trump definitely seems like that type of person that would abuse this power. You know, what you fellas think about that, man?
I agree that Trump is the person that's going to abuse whatever power that he has. Whatever he can get away with, I think he's going to do it. And when you mention the Supreme Court and a president being able to do what he wants to do, I think the fact that they took a shot at Donald Trump is going to make it even more clear for people to try to vote for him.
Right.
And my thing, and don't get me wrong, Biden, I mean, he's doing what he's doing as president, but I just feel like if this next election, man, I'm afraid.
And you have right to be afraid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm extremely afraid, and here's why I'm afraid. Because I think that the people that would go out and vote for Democrats are not going to vote.
And you're basing that on the
black vote.
Oh, on the black vote.
The black vote. I don't think nobody's going to go and vote for Biden.
Okay.
I truly, honestly don't think, and that's where we're going to lose.
You got a point.
And that's where Trump's going to end up in office. So all of this stuff, the immunity stuff, that's going to proceed with Donald Trump. I'm afraid for him to get in office, but I kind of feel like that's where we're going.
When you say the black vote, the Democrats won't have the black vote, is that you saying that they're going to vote for Trump, or they're going to vote not going to vote, period?
They're not going to vote, period. And the reason why I say that is because some of the views, and I'm just basing this off of, you know, people
Personal
that I
opinion.
talk to,
Okay,
and personal opinions. Most people are tired. I mean, and in a sense, to say, man, what am I going to go and vote for Biden for? He hasn't showed me a reason to vote. I mean, the man is he's too old to be in office.
Well, this latest decision that the Supreme Court made is reason enough for them to vote for Biden because, again, the wrong person in the position of president having this much power can be can be very dangerous, not just for us that's currently on
but everybody.
Yeah, future generations to come.
I'm about to hurt your heart. So last Tuesday, and I thought about you for a show, but you already did it. It was like you was reading my mind. I was watching CNN. There's a reporter on CNN. I got two, because I'm going to answer your question after this, after I give you his numbers. The report on CNN shows that both Democrats and Republicans together, 67% think that Biden should not be in office.
That's a problem.
That's together. That's Democrat and Republican. Now, you're not going to like this part. Just the Democrats alone, 52% say he should not be in office. We in trouble.
Yeah, I think that's for the health reasons. You know, the last debate that they had, he didn't look too good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's a lot. No, they just said he should step down. They just had
exactly.
a vote of who he should he step down, should he not? So they did the Democrats, Republicans together, 67%. Then they just did his party, 52%. That's over 50%. Yeah. So what else votes gonna go? Who else is running?
Pelosi was saying that they need to go and talk to Biden to make him step down. But here's the problem with that, because we still have Kamala Harris. She hasn't said a thing. And what we know is they do
she
not
know it's gonna be a landslide.
But they don't want a black woman in office. That's out. They're not having that.
No.
So she's not saying nothing. So what happens if Biden does step down right now, today, tomorrow, then that puts her right there in that position where they don't want her.
Not necessarily. I mean, she wouldn't automatically be the representative for president. I mean, it's up to the Democratic Party to find someone that they feel is suitable and that possibly could give Trump a run for his money.
Right.
Who they can find at this time in the game, that's the dilemma in my opinion.
You know what I think is going to happen? Y'all think it's going to happen right off. But remember, he get 2 terms. I think we get fool's gold on this first term. I think we get, hell yeah. Fools, it's going to go smooth. Everything that we like, nothing's really going to happen in this first term. Because he needs that second term.
And you saying if Trump gets in
that second term, I think all hell breaks loose in the second term. Well, I think a little hell, just a little bit, but enough to keep him in office. But that last term, everything that we don't want to see, we're going to see it all. But that last 4 years. That's what I think.
From this thing that the Supreme Court is doing with this immunity deal, I think what that's going to do is, if Trump is elected president, I think that gives him a right to start this dictatorship. It may never be another president after Trump.
Exactly. That could be one.
No. Is that one of the...
That could be.
Until he dies, he can be president, which is why this is really bad.
Yeah.
But he's 78.
Trump has
he might have 10 more years.
What folks don't realize,
even if he had 12, how long you ain't Kim Jong-un? He's 32 or something like that.
Well, I mean, in his second term, we'll be talking about Trump like we talking about Biden.
Yeah.
Right.
But he has already served one term as president, and I think he already put the pieces in play during that first term because he's elected majority of the justices that's serving the Supreme Court.
Exactly.
So he had a plan, and if he gets into the White House again, then he can put pretty much put the play in motion.
On the cool, if that happens, didn't that turn this country into a communist country?
Exactly.
Happens? That's bad, because then they're going to control our money in our banks.
Well, who is his homeboy? That's a communist country.
Oh,
Russia.
You got a point.
See,
Russia and China are combining together to try to alleviate the U.S. They got their own dollar that they making using gold and other.
And all they need is for Trump to be down and over America for all the rest of the stuff that they want to do to succeed.
They want to devalue the American
It's
dollar.
already devalued. The American dollar don't mean nothing no more.
Well, I think what hurt America is the first time we elected Trump to become our president.
In the first place.
We lost a lot of respect from our allies when that occurred. I can't say that we've gained respect back during this term because shit just hadn't been like what we're used to as far as our presidents are concerned. I think ever since Trump again has won that first election, You know, I think they take us as a joke now.
And that was the worst thing, man, because Trump has created this whole new era in America where it's all about, now we can see that America is all about money.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Politics is about money. Money is politics. And I think that's because Donald Trump has never been a governor. He's never
That's
been a
what
mayor.
I was about
He's
to
never
say.
been a senator.
Nothing.
He wasn't a politician.
He wasn't a politician at all.
Exactly.
But
So Jake Paul can just walk in and
Right. Because you have this type of money, you can say, okay, I'm going to run for president, and it doesn't matter whether you had any political experience or not. I think it's important for anybody that we vote for, whether it's Democratic, whether you vote Republican, is these people need to have had some sort of political experience before that we know of, rather than just having that type of money to say, oh shit, I want to be president when I wake up.
we put a reality TV show in as president. What was America thinking? I'm just being honest. He ain't never been in White. He ain't got no
Political
type of
background.
no
No,
political background. He basically had no experience. So y'all put a dude.
Before that, you know, they put Ronald
They put
Reagan
Ronald
in
Reagan.
office. He was
and
an actor.
He was an actor. Goddamn movie star.
So, I mean,
America's went to shit. I'm sorry, we are Americans, but America has went to shit on the political side. When it comes to presidents or anything political, they go for who's got the most dollar amount to spend. And it got to the point to where it's so screwed up to where President Donald Trump got in office and didn't even want the money that you pay him. The man turned the money down, man. I don't even want the money.
Because he's a billionaire.
I don't want the salary.
No, he got other plans.
So I want to, K-Man, I got a question for you.
yes, sir.
Now, before I ask you a question, Comedian 96, I want to touch on something you said. And it's in regards to Trump being able to serve 2 terms if he's elected. Mm-hmm. So I want to read something in regards to the 22nd Amendment. No person shall be elected to office of presidents more than twice, and no person who has held the office of president or acted as president for more than 2 years of a term to which some other person was elected president shall be elected to the office of president more than once. So here's what how that registers to me. He's already served 4 terms, 4
Right.
years, which is one term.
Correct.
Right.
So if he's elected, then he'll serve another 4 years. That will combine as 2 terms.
I said the same thing.
Right.
But I talked to someone.
Go ahead. Let me finish what I'm saying. That will be considered 2 terms. Mm-hmm. And according to the 22nd Amendment, he wouldn't be able to serve another term, according to our Constitution.
That was my understanding as well.
I talked to, I'm going to be honest, they could be wrong. I talked to a couple of judges. I want to give names, but I don't. And I asked them, and they said, yes, he has to do 2. The key word is consecutive. 2 consecutive terms.
I'm reading the Constitution.
Wait,
I'm reading this 22nd Amendment to you right
all
now.
All you do is see.
And it doesn't use the word consecutive in this amendment.
Okay. All right. Well.
So, but we shall see.
Yeah, that's all we can do.
Hopefully not.
Now, K Money, you mentioned in regards to the Supreme Court.
Yes, sir.
And tell me, like the title of this show is what?
The Supreme Court has final say.
Okay, so
Supreme Court has final say.
You opened the show when you mentioned about if the president do something criminal. Could you elaborate? Like what was your thought? I'm sorry. What was that when you opened the show and you said if he does something criminal, he won't be held accountable?
He won't be held accountable. He pretty much can get away with anything criminal wise in the United States.
Okay, so
to be more specific, let's say he wanted to put a hit out on somebody that he didn't like.
Right.
While he's president,
he can be.
He pretty much can get away with that.
Okay, so now with that being said, this is something that has always been in place?
No, this was pretty much this came in effect on the recent vote that the Supreme Court made recently in early July.
Okay.
Which again, this goes back to him being on trial for previous issues, allegations, and he was just found guilty of the Stormy Daniels hush money. There you go. Thanks. So I believe that has been
hushed.
Yeah.
But if I'm not overturned, I thought.
No.
They dropped those charges.
No. He was found guilty on all charges of the hush money scandal, right?
Right.
What they dropped was the documents that was found in his place.
Okay, that came from the White House.
Yeah, all that stuff was dismissed, and it was dismissed by a judge that was hand appointed by him. So,
right.
So back to what you were saying in regards to the July ruling.
Right.
So we're speaking of Trump as if he was already in office, as if he's guaranteed to be in office.
Right.
That's the scary part, right?
Right.
But this ruling will stand pat for any president moving forward.
Right.
If we ever have one, because he has the capabilities of possibly making himself the president for,
Can he appoint somebody after him?
Well, I would think that the only real possibility that he would have in that is if they control the House and the Senate.
Yeah, right. But see, then that depends on how many Democrats we have in the Senate.
Yeah,
we never
if they control
it. We never really get that many elected into Senate.
So my question would be, after he, move on or, whatever way he leave office, pass on or whatever, would he have the power to appoint someone else to take his spot? Would he have that power? That's the power to be scary. Because if he put somebody like him, that's 35, and we got to deal with him for we don't know how long. That'll be the question.
I think it's the Republican Party, man. They're gonna. Okay, so after him, if we're listening to, if we're going by the 22nd Amendment, based upon what I just read in regards to the 22nd Amendment, he would do one term and be done. Mm-hmm. So that means that somebody got to rise from the party, from their Republican Party, right? Mm-hmm. So if someone rises from their Republican Party, are you saying that he would actually appoint somebody?
I'm asking this new law, the new thing that passed.
I feel like if he becomes president, that 22nd Amendment would be amended again to where
wouldn't they have to vote on that, and it has to go pass in the House and the
I'm
Senate?
sure, but all the cards are he has all the cards in my opinion.
Because he just appointed somebody that was 39 years old. I know y'all probably seen it. He's the youngest to ever be
his running mate.
39.
The vice president.
So that would be that's what I'm talking about. So I think he's setting it up for the bigger picture. He's got 10, 12 years at most.
He can get anybody to run with him. Yeah. It's his running mate. So
it's getting anybody to run against him is where we're having a problem. Nobody wants to run against the man.
Well, now Biden want to run against him.
Well, Biden really don't have a choice. If you want to keep your job, you got to run against him.
His age, though, and his health is what's everybody's concern.
That is a major concern.
But he has to step down. Nobody can make him step down.
He has to.
And see, he's so against stepping down. He doesn't want to do it. Pride. But come on, man. We need something better.
So here's the thing with that. So I held on, and I didn't. There was one point, let's say about 3-4 months ago, where I wanted to make sure I keep giving him a chance, Biden, a chance, and I didn't want to accept that he was, getting old.
Right.
But the more and more he kind of stumble on his words or not remembering certain things, I was seeing the signs, and then of course I watch him go up steps and fall a couple of times. Well, stumble over the steps to Air Force One. Then I watch him fall on his bicycle.
Yeah.
Coming to a complete stop, and I'm like, okay, Biden, you're getting old, man. But here's the thing that gets me. I think that people, when they view him, and they say, well, yeah, he's getting old. Yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that he's still more competent as far as knowledgeable than Trump, in my opinion. Trump spews out a bunch of rhetoric.
Right.
And so I think that that's where Biden is. Biden feels like, I'm smarter than him. I know more about this country. I know what we need.
Right.
And I know that I got this over him. But all we could see is that, man, you
Sleeping.
old. You
Falling
old.
asleep and
That's
shit.
all. That's all we can see is you're old.
I agree.
And so I think that that's where the frustration for Biden comes in.
And that's what majority of the American people see is him being old and versus him being qualified to run the country.
Yeah, it's not that he's not qualified. It's you're getting too old to carry out anything.
Now, here's the thing, though. Here's what I would say to that. First of all, I can see that. Okay, I can see why they're saying that he's qualified, but he's just getting too old. But is Trump actually qualified?
Not at all.
He never was.
I don't think he's qualified.
He never was.
The money that
it's
he
just
has,
the money that he has.
That's what made him qualified.
Yeah, that's what made him qualified.
So
bingo. That's where America's going wrong.
So tell me, what about Trump's money in the public eye make the public, the people who vote for him, make them view him as being qualified? What about his money?
I feel his money is what allowed him to get on the ticket first off.
Correct.
Now, once he goes and does these rallies that he do, this is when he picks up fans and people that are like-minded, like he is. Slash, you mentioned him being shot earlier. A lot of people feel like that was staged. I being one person.
Me too.
I feel like that too.
It's kind of coincidental too. Now that because I didn't know Reagan had never been. Think about it.
Political.
Yeah.
He wasn't political. Yeah.
And then turn around and to me in my mind, yeah. And then you got the people wearing the patches on their ear. But to answer your question, man, I think honestly, I forgot what we were talking about.
Let's talk about Project 2025 real quick before we end the show, fellas, because this ruling that Supreme Court made really tells the plans that Trump has, and Project 25 proposes that all Department of State employees in leadership roles should be dismissed by the end of January 2025.
Say that again. Who?
Project 2025 proposes that all Department of State employees in leadership roles, that's the key word, leadership roles, should be dismissed by the end of January 20th, 2025.
So that means that all of the people in office that are leaders will no longer be leaders.
That's
what that sounds like.
The president will have the powers to pretty much
say, hey, get away.
Yeah.
So he runs everything.
Basically. That's communist.
That's exactly what.
That's the road I feel like we're going down.
People, yeah.
But a lot of folks, I think, are not understanding, everything that Project 2025 entails.
But then that's bad because then they can start saying, okay, you need to get paid. Yeah, I know you get this paid down, but now that we got all these rules in play, I think for your position, you need to get paid this much. If it's going to be ran like that, it's going to be bad.
It'll be more or less like England. England, the king has been running England.
Right.
It'll be, we'll be having that type of government.
Exactly.
Which is scary.
But we don't.
Trump.
We don't need that, man.
Man, Project 2025 entails of a lot of things, right?
Right.
And one of the things that scares me with that is eliminating the Department of Education.
Well, a lot, and not to cut you off, a lot of the, what do you call it? Abbreviated, like you say, the FBI, FCC,
three-letter acronym,
DOJ. Mm-hmm. See, that's where the problem comes in, because now you want to get rid of all of that, But this stuff is kind of probably what's been keeping America running. Mm-hmm. So to me, this sounds like if there is no Federal Bureau of Investigations, who's going to watch what goes on in the government?
Exactly.
the CIA is going to be gone too. So there is nobody to keep their eyes on what the government's doing. There's nobody saying, okay, the government screwed up. We need to try to fix this. Just do whatever is what this sounds like to me.
Yeah, another thing too, Cameron, I wanted to touch on real quick. I know we have moved on from it, but y'all mentioned that y'all felt like his money, meaning Donald Trump, money is what got him on the ticket. I wanted to touch on that. Man,
Yeah, me too.
Anybody could actually run for president, man. I'm going to give you an example of a Texas man, and his name is Dustin eBay. But he changed his name out of frustration with this political party, these parties. Guess what he changed his names to? Guess what he changed his name to? It's rhetorical. I'll answer it. His name is now literally anybody else. And now he's actually on the ticket.
As
I vote
anybody
for him
else.
for that name.
Yeah, his name is literally anybody else.
Anybody
I
else.
vote for him just because of the name.
So what he's saying is anybody else but
Trump. Now the
And Biden.
right. Oh, yeah.
Biden.
So he
He's running
changed
just
his
off.
name. If
to anybody else.
I
Anybody
had to go first, middle, and last, his first name is literally.
Anybody.
His middle name is anybody.
Literally.
His last name is else.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally anybody else.
No, that's the train of thought that I lost. So on that Trump, the reason why I think people picked him, if y'all saw how he moved before he got in office with the Trump towers and getting money, I think he had towers everywhere, right? Even everywhere. So people were looking at, okay, well, if he can get money just for himself, maybe he could do it for the U.S. That's the only thought.
Here's what I think people
I
miss.
was thinking.
Here's what I think what people miss, man. And I'm not taking away from his money as far as real estate and how they come into the real estate, how they got his money. But here's what I think people miss. Man, Trump inherited that money
Right.
from his father.
He didn't even work hard.
He inherited
Yeah.
that money
He didn't
from his
work
father
hard.
who built it.
Yeah.
And my thing, man. Oh my God, K-Money, I don't want to hijack your show.
Go ahead, handle your business.
But man, here's what bothers me, man. I'm not knocking black people on their political views and who you choose to vote for and all of that. What I got a problem with is black people bootlicking and cooning for Donald Trump.
Yes.
And Tim Scott is the worst.
Yeah.
Amber Rose, sorry.
I don't
No,
know what the fuck this guy's
Tim
doing.
Scott got
He's
up
worse
there
than-
and literally said, he don't think that racism is in America.
Okay.
Get the hell out of here.
Get the hell out.
Now here's the thing. And here's something that people miss. But if you're not careful, you'll miss it, and the subtle is right there.
Right.
So the Republicans, when you're in politics, black, and this is my own opinion about black people and black politicians, they'll take you and we'll put you out there as the token black out front to gain your black people to come vote for us or whatever the case may be. But you better not fuck it up because we'll silence you.
We'll take it
Let
away.
me show you something. Y'all remember Herschel Walker?
Yeah.
All that bootlicking and
He
ass
did.
kissing he
Yes,
was
he
doing.
did.
Yep.
Where is he now?
Yeah.
You ain't seen
For
him.
real.
Where is he now?
You ain't heard from him.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's my problem with black people. Now I get it if you are a rich black person with millions. I can see why you
Right.
would vote Republican.
Exactly.
If you are a rich black person with millions,
You know you said
I
it.
can see why you would vote Republican. And again, everybody has their own right to have their own political views, and I'm not shitting on black Republicans. You know, if you are, that's fine. Do you? But man, if your ass is poor
Middle class.
and you
to lower
ain't
class.
got no damn money,
You should not.
and you rely on welfare, and you rely on food stamps,
Any
or
kind of
whatever you
government
rely on the
assistance.
government assistance,
Right.
and you running around here gonna go and vote for this known person who comes from a racist family. So I can say that his character shows me that there's some racism there when it comes to Trump, but I can tell you that his family are known racist because of in the 70s what they did for they didn't want people living in their apartment complexes. Right. And so and there was all kind of racial discrimination lawsuits against the Trump family or whatever, right? But if you are a poor ass black person that ain't got jack and you rely on government assistance and you run around spewing this Trump rhetoric, you down with Trump and all that, man, get the fuck out of here with that.
First of all, let me ask one question. Skirt, back up. It's gonna knock out people's welfare and all that. This new law. I didn't know that part.
Yes, indeed. Even healthcare.
Oh, Freddie G, what's crazy is that class that you just described, man. Trump won them over, and that's just the ignorance on their part because of the $1,200 that we received back when he was in office, not knowing that he's not really, responsible for that.
True that. And let me show you something else. That class that spewing all that, Trump gonna do this. You go ask him. Did you vote?
Yeah, true that.
Go ask them. Did you vote? They spewing it, but some of them ain't even voting. A lot of them ain't even voting.
Like I said, man, this decision made. Trump has already put his pieces in play and has set itself up. I mean, it almost seemed like a perfect game of chess, if you ask me, which is where it's so important for us to get out there and make sure that he doesn't get back in the White House, because if he does, I think our country is definitely going to change for the worse. So for all those out there that's not sure what Project 2025 is, do your research and get out there and make sure that, a lot of these things definitely don't come into play. But the main thing to stop it is voting, and voting the right way, and voting the smart way. Thank y'all for joining us. Peace out. This concludes another True Tuesday episode, and be sure you tune in tomorrow for another episode of Women Wednesday with Freddie G. Don't forget to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Sky Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, The 52 Sky Podcast, and if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and or subscribe. And to all my 52 Sky faithfuls, it may be new to you, but if you heard it here, then you know it's true.
But